Improved methods of agriculture. The technique of growing plants. Living things need food for growth. Most animals meet their food-related needs through plants like grass and other bushes and trees. Man mostly depends upon cereals like wheat, jowar, as well as plants that give pulses, oilseeds, vegetables, fruits, etc. For this purpose, man has to till the land. In order to grow a crop in the field, he must carry out the following tasks. 1. The land is prepared before sowing seeds. The land is ploughed. Dried stalks and rubbish is cleared out. 2. Seeds are sown. The crop is watered at the right time so that it grows well. To get the maximum yield, fertilizers are added to the soil. The crop is sprayed with chemicals to protect it from germs and insects. 3. When the crop is ready, it is cut and threshed. 4. The produce obtained is stored properly. All this helps to increase the yield. These days, much improvement is taking place in the way these tasks are carried out. Let us see what these improvements are. Use of improved seed. Nowadays, improved seeds are used to obtain various benefits, which include protection from insects, a greater yield, and a crop of good quality. These seeds are treated before sowing the crop. The seeds are processed to ensure that they germinate and grow into seedlings. Nowadays, seeds of different varieties of a crop are available in the market. All this has become possible because, through research, varieties of crops have been developed which can resist plant diseases. Modern methods of irrigation. If crops get sufficient water at the right time, they grow well. The traditional method of watering the crop is by digging channels. However, much of the water in the channel sinks into the soil or evaporates and does not actually reach the crop. The modern remedy for this is to use methods like sprinkle irrigation and drip irrigation. In the sprinkle irrigation method, water gets sprayed on the crop from above. This way, less of the water seeps into the soil. In the drip irrigation method, water is carried in pipes which have holes. It drips through these holes directly near the roots of the plants. This helps to save water. Fertilizers. Crops grow well in some types of soil, but not at all in others. Why is it so? Soil which contains nutritive substances, that is, substances useful for the growth of the crop, is called fertile soil. Soil must be fertile if crops are to grow well in it. Fertile soil is soil with plentiful proportions of nutritive substances. The greater this proportion, the more fertile the soil. If soil is less fertile, its fertility has to be increased. To do this, nutrients must be added to the soil. These nutrients added to the soil are called fertilizers. If crops are taken again and again in the same fertile soil, its fertility decreases. The yield from the crop decreases. Then fertilizers have to be used. Types of fertilizers. Fertilizers are of two types, natural and chemical. Rotting leaves, stubble, cattle dung, human excreta are used as natural fertilizers. In factories, nitrogenous substances like urea, superphosphate are used to produce granulated compound fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and water must be given to the crop in the right quantities. If the fertilizers are given in excess, the crop may wither. One of the improved methods in farming is to use machines to plow the field. A tractor is used to plow a big field in a short time. Threshing machines are used to separate the grain from the cobs or ears. Pumps are used to spray pesticides or insecticides. Small aircrafts too may be used for spraying very big fields. Pests. A standing crop can be damaged or destroyed in a number of ways. Various kinds of insects damage a crop. They damage the stems or the roots. They nibble away leaves or eat into fruits. Sometimes a crop may be affected by a disease. The crop is damaged and the yield is reduced. Preventive measures. Some steps must be taken to prevent the damage to crops by insects, disease, etc. Insecticides are sprayed to keep insects away. Germicides can be used to fight diseases caused by germs. Insecticides made from neem are used for controlling insects. These measures prevent possible damage to crops. Remember, empty tins of chemical fertilizers and insecticides must be kept away from small children, animals, hens, etc. Do not use these tins for any other purpose. These chemicals are very poisonous and can cause serious harm. Storing agricultural produce. You have learnt about the steps taken to increase the yield from a crop. It is equally important to store the produce properly. To do this, the harvested grain is sun-dried and filled in sacks. These sacks are placed in the house, in big warehouses, or in shops. Bins made of wattle or wicker and plastered with mud are also used for storing grain. The farmer must not only store the grain properly, but also take care later in order to preserve it. Let us see how the grain is protected from destruction by insects, ants, mice, field rats, etc. The necessary chemicals are either spread or sprayed in the place where grain will be stored to prevent damage from insects. Neem leaves are also mixed in the grain. Some protective chemicals which can be placed in the grain are also available. Their smell repels insects. Grain should not be stored in humid places or places with poor ventilation. Moisture can cause fungus to grow on the grain and destroy it. Hence, grain should always be stored in a dry, airy place. If wattle and daub bins or baskets are used for storing grain, air circulates well around it.